Electric Cafe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Electric Cafe. This video is a EP review of a new record that just came out this week. It's by a Japanese artist named Udagawa. He was featured on a couple of compilations on Cosmo Cities records out of France back in 2023, and it looks like he really made an impression on the label and the label owner named Matsuli. Enough to actually bring out a new EP just with his music, and it features a couple remixes by by Francesco Tristiano and also At Jazz, the amazing At Jazz. And those two EPs, those two compilations that this artist was featured on, I'm gonna put pictures up in here just so you guys can see them. Basically, they were called the Aesthetics of Japanese Electronic Music, Volume 1 and 2, and they featured a lot of excellent Japanese deep house and techno producers from past and present, including the amazing Ken Ishii, Karo Inu, Kuniaki, Takahashi, Tomi Chair, aka Tomi Naro Hosoya, and excuse me if I butchered those. But just features a lot of really good deep house producers and techno producers, and there's been a great influx of great Japanese techno and house music and ambient music, and a lot of DIY cassette labels and a lot of great record labels coming out of Japan in the last 5 to 10 years. Just some amazing artists, and those two are great examples of compilations. So if you like what you hear on this EP with us today, definitely check out those two compilations as well. So again, this album's called Into the Rapture, and it's by Udagawa. There's 6 tracks on here, 4 original tracks that he does, and then 2 remixes, again by Francesco Tristiano and also At Jazz. We're going to check out all 6 tracks, check out some samples of them, and I'm going to just review them individually and then give the EP a total score. And I'll be curious to know your opinion as well as we go. If there's something that you'd like me to review, just email me. My email's below in the link. Feel free to email me if you'd like me to review something of yours, or if you'd like me to review, anything past or present. I'd be curious. Just email me below. But yeah, let's check out the title track from the EP. It's called Into the Rapture. So that was the title track called Into the Rapture. Really nice laid back ambient house feel here. Nice deepness, kind of a slow build, but still overall really gentle. And I really like how the ending is nice and easy and quickly breaks down. But it does it very gently, just as good as as the whole of it is. It's really nice the way it just gently breaks down and sort of ends. Kind of vintage style in that way. It definitely gives it that kind of late 80s, early 90s feel in the way it just ends. It's not long and drawn out, really nice and laid back, and really a track that I could definitely feel like I would play out in a set, like a DJ set. early in the morning or late at night. Just has a really nice opening to it. Would be a great opener to a DJ set. Really strong track. I give it 7.5 out of 8 stars. Really good stuff. Let's check out the second track. It's called "We Become." All right, so that was the second track called "We Become." The piano is really expressive, which is really nice. A strong rhythm. There's a voice in there, almost makes you think it's gonna go more towards like a Jack and House flavor, like a acid house flavor. It just kind of has like this voice in the background, which is kind of a lot like acid house records used to do. But considering there's a piano in there, it kind of makes you feel like, well, it's kind of laid back, but then it's kind of the beat's kind of up tempo and almost acid house flavor, so you feel like it could break out at like any moment and sort of go towards that more energetic rhythm. But it stays in the kind of jazzy flavor and really kind of balances that kind of techie rhythm along with that kind of piano. That piano really reminds me of Steve Reich's music for 18 Musicians. If you ever heard that amazing album, this kind of stark kind of piano note that is kind of minimal. It really kind of reminds me of Steve Reich's work, and that's always a good thing. And I know Steve Reich has definitely influenced a lot of Japanese artists. So I wonder if there's a coincidence there, if the artist happens to like Steve Reich's music. But really nice, and at the end the melodies rise a little bit from there, but overall still stays in the sweet spot and adds a little bit of jazz. Really nice track as well. I give it 6.75 stars out of 7. Right under very good. Just at the high side of good. Really good stuff. Let's check out the remix of that, and it's by Francesco Tristiano. the remix of We Become by Francesco Tristiano. This one's a little bit more minimal. Obviously, it just has the kind of beat, and then the piano kind of shows itself, but it doesn't really go into any particular rhythm, or not really rhythm, but kind of it doesn't really go into any phrasing that's really consistent. It's just really kind of a abstract kind of piano, and so it gives it like a nice minimalism and kind of abstractness. I really like the melody swelling at 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Kind of brings in a nice atmosphere, and that part is really nice as well. This track is a little bit more sparse and minimal, but again a little bit more abstract. And I like the remix a little bit better than the original. I give this one 7.25 stars out of 8. So now we're going to check out the track number 4, which is actually the first song on the second side. This EP is released on digital and vinyl. I'll put the link below. So if you're interested in checking out or purchasing the record or vinyl, I'll give you the link. But yeah, this is the first track on the second side, 4th overall. It's called Flows Forever. So that was the track called "Flows Forever." This one's nice and gentle as well. I had to actually play the track 2 times to kind of get a feel where the melody was going. I felt like at the first time I wasn't really able to really kind of grasp the soulfulness of the track, and when I heard it the second time, it immediately kind of clicked, and I went from probably a 6 to a 6.75 stars, and that's where I landed. But this track is definitely a track that kind of grows on you. This could be a kind of sleeper on the album that, over the years, over the, multiple plays, it really kind of grows on you, because there is a nice melodic kind of feel in it, and it kind of expands a little bit as it goes on and kind of opens up, again, as it becomes more catchy and more familiar, it just seems to get better with every listen. And by the third time I played it, it was I really enjoyed it, and thought that this could be a sleeper on the album. But really strong track, 6.75. Let's check out the next track. It's called Radiance. so that was the track called Radiance. Definitely a deeper track, this one for sure. Deeper bass line. I really like the atmosphere. A bit more into the dubby range. Really really nice track. I really like this track. I give it a 7.25 stars. If you like what you hear, I'll put a link down below to where you can purchase the vinyl or purchase the tracks digitally. If you like what you're hearing and support the music. But lastly, let's check out the At Jazz remix, the dub remix of Radiance as well. All right, so that was the At Jazz remix of Radiance. So far, this is the star of the album, in my opinion. The melody layering is excellent. He takes At Jazz takes the piano and makes it from takes the main piano instead of it becoming the forefront of the song. He makes it as the secondary part or the supporting melodic part to the main melody, and it just the way it flows and everything, and the way it builds and the rhythm, it's just magic. The vocal sample is vintage chill out. I do wish, and it's a really nice touch. I do wish I could hear it what it says, and maybe if it would have did it maybe 2 or 3 times, that would have been even better to kind of. But it's all I always like when a track just does one thing once in a track. That's always a really cool touch, but I do wish I could hear what he says, so it could kind of embellish the kind of chill out feel that I love in this track, and just the melodic flow, and it really I felt like would have added another level to the track if I could hear it. But sometimes when you hear or you don't hear vocal samples, it's also actually pretty cool because you want to try to listen in on the next time and try to get what he's saying. That's always a cool engineering or producing trick that I always like. But there's a lot going on here in this track as well, and that's probably why you couldn't hear the vocal. But if it was meant to be heard, because there's a lot going on in it. But still, my favorite track on the EP. Ad Jazz always does some fantastic remixes. This one, uh, no different. I give it 7.75 stars, right on the edge of being a classic, an all time classic. This one has it. It's almost there. I could see, maybe in a few years' time, see if it can age as well. That's always a telling a telling story of a deep house track if it can, over the course of a few years, kind of get to that level. Sometimes you hit it right out of the box, and this one is so close. But I feel like this one, the way the melody is and everything, and just the overall EP is an EP that kind of grows on you with a lot of listens, and there's a lot of deepness to enjoy and rediscover with every listen that you have. Overall, I there's 43 and 1/4 stars divided by six is a 7.20. So that correlates roughly to a 72 out of 100 score. I gave the EP a couple extra points for the vibe, the deepness, and certainly will get better with more listens. Like I said, it's definitely a grower. Nice balance of dance floor stuff and sort of armchair jazz and house music as well. A lot of deepness here, a lot of creativity, a lot of minimalism in here as well, and definitely an old school kind of Balearic kind of ambient house feel. It really hits on um, a lot of different moods and a lot of different genres, and this is a great example of one strong Japanese producer of electronic music. There's so many good Japanese electronic producers to discover out there, and it looks like I've found another one here with Udagawa. So exciting to hear. So yeah, 74 out of 100. Very good album, right in the middle of very good. Um, Really pleased with this EP. Really good stuff from Cosmo Cities out of France. Their 19th release. Really good stuff. I'll put the link down below if you'd like to go support it and purchase it digitally or get a record and play it out. But thanks for watching. I'm curious to know your opinion and leave a comment